Hey everyone, it's Laurie from Quick Scrap Craft and welcome back to the channel. Today's process video is my monthly pocket page for my July 2023 photos. I can't believe I'm so far behind. Normally I do these every month for the photos that don't really necessarily have to have separate layouts. They don't have like separate stories. They're just random photos that were taken throughout the month. And I'm like, you know what? This is just an easy way to get multiple photos scrapbooked at a time, and then I can hopefully get a little closer to being caught up with my scrapbooking. So I'm using a pocket page here that has three horizontal pockets in the center, two vertical pockets on the side, and then there's like a 12x2 strip on the left-hand side. It will be on the right-hand side now that I flipped it over. And what I'm doing here is I'm using a Simple Stories collection. I think it was last year's whatever it's called. Like they always come out with a collection where each pattern paper is themed to a month of the year, and there are always these calendar pieces, these calendar cut aparts. So I like to go through all my photos and circle the dates that they were taken. As you can see, there were a lot of photos being taken in July, and there are a lot of photos for this pocket page, more than the number of pockets that I have. So what I'm actually going to do, you'll see in a second, is I'm going to be adding to this pocket page. And this is the first time that I have done that with my monthly pocket pages, because normally I don't have to. Normally, I don't have as many of these extra photos left over, but for the month of July 2023, I just had a whole bunch, and so I'm going to have to get a little creative to get them all together in this one pocket page layout without having to make additional extra scrapbook pages that are just not really that necessary, you know? So I'm working on the back side right now because I have more space for some extra photos. Most of my photos were vertical, so the open spaces that I have left are horizontal. So one of the things I always do when I'm up against that conundrum is I cut the photos down to size. So sometimes I might make it like 4x4 or 3x4. The ones that I'm doing for this one, I've cut down to 2x3. So I really had to cut it down quite a bit, but I really like doing the smaller size because it's almost like making a mini scrapbook layout. So the backside to the cut apart paper is this cool tone on tone red polka dot thing. And so I have all of that going down in the vertical line for these horizontal pockets. And so it looks like it's a scrapbook layout. It looks like there's a singular sheet of this polka dot paper going on behind it, and I'm just layering up photos and embellishments on top. And that's something that I do in all my monthly pocket pages to the best of my ability. And if you want to see more of those monthly pocket pages, I may have a playlist on the channel. If I don't, I'll have to add that. But I try to make it easier for you guys to see all the different pocket pages that I have done. I like to work with different styles of the pocket page designs. And so you might see this style. I might use all vertical 4x6 pockets or all horizontal 4x6 pockets. I also have ones that are they 4x4 squares? There's like 3 squares. Let's see, 3 and 3 is, they're 9 squares. Yeah, I don't know. But I have a lot of different designs just because I like to change it up every so often. So for this one in the middle, so the top I cut down to 2x3, but for this one in the middle, I cut it down to 3x4 to go along with this other 3x4 cut apart that says hello. It's got hearts on it. And I'm just going to layer that up on top of the paper, and it makes it really, really easy. And some of the photos that I've got going on here, at the top, there's one of my daughter and me. We were doing a stay in the tent challenge where we had to literally like stay in this tent for 2 hours and bring things to do. And if you left the tent, then you were out, you lost the challenge. There's also a photo of me with a My Little Pony because I am the same age as My Little Pony. What else do we have? There was a selfie that I took with a Barbie backdrop at the movie theater when I went to see the Barbie movie. A selfie of my kid. I'm pretty sure she probably took that of herself. And the one at the bottom is a photo of her playing in the arcade at the dentist's office. There's also another dentist photo somewhere in here. I don't think it's on this one. I think it's going to get added to the extra bit. But that same dentist trip, I guess I could have made this a separate thing, but that same dentist trip, she had a loose tooth and it was really bothering her. It wouldn't come out. She didn't want it pulled. but it was causing her to like avoid brushing it. And so the dental hygienist was just randomly talking, and all of a sudden she got the tooth out, and like my daughter didn't even realize what had happened. We had to tell her like the dental hygienist pulled the tooth for you. So that was nice and got that taken care of. Of course, when we went to check out and make an appointment for 6 months from them, the lady was like, oh, I see there was a dental extraction. And I was like, well, yeah, so they pulled a loose tooth. And she's like, okay, well, we'll send you any information if there's a charge with that. And I was like, I didn't ask for them to pull the tooth. Like, it wasn't a real dental procedure. It was just a loose tooth that needed some help wiggling out. So don't charge me anything for that. And they didn't, thank goodness. But I was, you start panicking a little bit. So I'm working, my original idea was that I would have that big July cut apart on the front. And then I had the calendar with another little cut apart down below, and I was going to do my journaling there. But because I have so many pictures, you'll see toward the end that I do have to cover up one of those cut aparts, the cut apart next to the calendar. But my first solution to this problem of having too many photos but not enough pockets is to take a 6x12 pocket or page extender. I don't know the correct term, but it's got stickiness on it, so you can stick it to the larger pocket page. And I've used these before. I'm sure I've done process videos before with these. I got them from Creative Memories, I guess. Wait, which was the one that is going out of business? Was that Creative Memories, or was that something else? Ooh, if it was Creative Memories, I need to like go try to order some, because these are really great, and I love that they have the adhesive on them. So anyway, I put those two pattern papers together. Again, the polka dot one, because it goes along with the polka dots that are already in the 12x12 pocket page. And then the square paper is actually, I think that is also Simple Stories, but a different collection. But I was just like, you know what? It's the right length. It's 12 inches. And putting these two papers together will make the width that I need. So what I'm doing is, because there's the dentist picture where she had her tooth removed. Because I had the squares on the other Simple Stories paper, I decided to cut my photos down into the same size squares and do sort of a grid, play off those squares and create a grid pattern on this first side of the 6x12 pocket. There's a picture of my daughter eating rice because she's obsessed with jasmine rice. So I just kind of went through all the pictures. That's me actually seeing the Barbie movie. I took that picture and shared it on Instagram as having like, a mom's day out. But here, I'm going to layer these up. I had to look through all my photos to find ones that could be cut down into this smaller size. I want to say these are 3x3 squares, or maybe even, I think the original Simple Stories squares are like just a smidge smaller than 3x3, but I just went ahead to make it easy and cut my photos down to 3x3. And then I realized I didn't like how you could see the overlap where the two pattern papers overlap. So I was like, you know what? I got to bring the square paper on top, because that makes more sense. So everything that I had, originally figured out in terms of getting it the right size, and then I got to peel off the adhesive squares, but no big deal. That's why I use the adhesive squares, because they're really easy to pick up and reapply as needed, at least for a few minutes. I think initially, if you were to go through an album and try to like peel them off, and it's been a year, that's not going to happen. So anyway, but that's why I like using the adhesive squares, because so often I am making mistakes or doing something and then going, no, I don't like it that way. And these make it just easy for me to fix things. So again, I'm just kind of creating a grid style here. And this, obviously I have to have two sides. So this is going to be the first side. And then inside the other squares, I'm just going to add some embellishments. So with the Simple Stories collection, I not only bought all the papers, but I also bought the sticker book, the chipboard stickers, and then the 12x12 sticker sheet. So because I'm making 12 pocket pages, one for each month, I needed to make sure that I had enough. Oh, and the enamel dots. I needed to make sure I had enough stuff to embellish and create my pages. And sometimes I put the embellishments right on the outside of a pocket page. I will do that coming up in a few minutes with this pocket page, but for the most part, everything's just going to go on the inside, on the papers or on the photos. And that's a chipboard thing. I actually popped that up on, oh no, that's a die cut piece. So I guess I also had the paper die cut ephemera pack as well. I had a lot of the embellishments. It's totally worth the investment, especially if you're doing something like this that just has so much variety of embellishments, and I like the different ways that you can add dimension, or the stickers are kind of matte, or the stickers from the sticker book are matte, but then the stickers from the sticker sheet are a little glossier. So I just like the different ways that the embellishments can look when you buy all of the collection. And I actually ran out of the enamel dots that go with this collection. So luckily I did have some other enamel dots from Simple Stories that I had purchased on sale at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo back in August. So I decided to add some of those in because they're like similar colors and no one's gonna know. All right, so just for some extra reinforcement, I'm taking some washi tape, which originally that washi tape I thought was kind of a bummer. I got that at a local scrapbook store and I was trying to peel it off and it just would not come off in one long stretch. And I thought, well, I guess, they've probably had this washi tape in their store for who knows how long, and it's just no good anymore. But for some reason, I started using it on this day, and I actually got it to peel. And I was like, oh, all right, so I can use this as more than just to cover things up, or to use it as the background adhesive when I'm sort of Frankensteining these different pattern papers to create a larger one. I'm also going to create a larger piece of pattern paper out of pattern papers and photos. So these are all cut aparts or B-side patterns from the other leftover pieces in the Simple Stories collection. I always save it because it all goes together and you never know when you're going to need to do something like this. So I took a piece of paper, which I think is actually maybe 2 cut aparts, and then I added 2 more cut aparts that are 3x4, and I'm going to cut down a couple photos into a 3x4 size, and then just add some embellishments to whatever else is there. One of the cut aparts has words on it, so I don't really need to add anything to that. The photos that I'm cutting down here, my daughter drew a picture of what she wants to be when she grows up, which is a gamer. And then I took a selfie of myself because I don't like to, I wear contacts, but I primarily wear my glasses. The contacts are for special occasions, but I don't have prescription sunglasses. So if I'm not wearing my contacts and I'm wearing my glasses and I go outside in the sun, which I have to because it dries my eyes out so much, I have to put sunglasses on top of my glasses, and it's really cool, I promise you. And I took a selfie of myself with my double glasses at my daughter's swim lessons one day. So that's what that's about. And then I also have a picture of my daughter doing some summer schoolwork. For some reason, we went to Target and she requested a workbook to kind of practice some skills, language arts and math and all that good stuff prior to starting the school year. And so I took a picture of her doing that. I was really impressed that she decided to do it. Now, did we continue with that workbook this past summer before she started 3rd grade? Yes, we did. And did she hate it? Yes. So I don't know. She was just going through a phase where she wanted to do some extra learning, or I don't know, maybe she saw a video on YouTube where someone else was doing it. I really have no idea, but at least I have some photographic evidence that she wanted this and was totally down with doing some schoolwork over the summer. And here I'm using that same washi tape just to, having some trouble tearing it here. But for the most part, I don't know, I feel like I just got through the first couple of layers and then it wasn't as annoying to work with. I don't know. So now I'm going to add a couple embellishments here, mostly from Simple Stories, but because I have the gamer picture, I knew in my stash that I had some old Pink Fresh ephemera pieces, and they were video game themed. So there was a video game piece as well as something that said I'd rather be gaming. There they are, and I was like, perfect. I've been saving these, I want to say since 2020. I've just been saving them thinking eventually something will come up and I'll be able to use them. And so this was the perfect opportunity for that. So I just kind of stuck those down. That one I'm going to pop up to give it some extra dimension. Yes, it's going inside of a pocket page, but you'll still be able to tell that it's been popped up, even though it's not on the outside of the on the outside of the pocket. I mean, I had to mention to other things that go inside a pocket page, so it's pretty much the same thing. You're just, you can still see that there's dimension, but you're putting it inside a pocket, so it's not like, I don't know. It's like the same thing. So I just need to stick these two pieces in here, and then I need to stick this 6x12 piece onto the other pocket page, which is really easy to do because, like I said, it's self-adhesive. So all I have to do is peel away that white backing, throw it away, and stick it down and like line it up. Now, I would recommend not lining it up where the holes are of your pocket page, because then you're going to cover up the holes that go through your D-rings or your posts, I guess, if you use a post-bound album. So just keep that in mind. Put it in front of where those holes are so that you can still stick this into your album. And I would stick it down at the very end when you're finished covering all the pocket pages or whatever on the original 12x12 pocket. And sorry that this is kind of choppy. I was just trying to cut things down a little bit, just trying to edit things so that this video isn't like too terribly long, because there's a lot going on here. There's the picture that I cut down to 3x4 so that I could add it over the cut apart that's next to the calendar, just because I had all these photos left over and I was like, I'm kind of running out of ideas for what to do. So I was just trying to get just at least one extra into the regular pocket page. And so, yeah, I had to cover up the little arrows there that I was originally going to do some journaling in. But, whatever. I'm drinking ginger tea if anyone is interested. Let me know in the comments what you like to drink or eat while you scrapbook, and if you do eat or drink while you scrapbook. So far, I have not had an accident where I spill any of my tea on my pages, but I guess it's still a possibility. But I do try to be as careful as I can while I'm scrapbooking so that I don't spill anything and mess anything up. Although I wonder if you could use tea as like a colorant. Like how you do like Tim Holtz stuff, the Distress Oxide spray, if the tea would just kind of soak into the paper. And it's probably not acid free. That would just kind of ruin it, I guess. But anyway, so I needed a piece to go into the 12x2 strip. And it's like not even, it's a weird dimension. It's just too weird to measure. So I just try to do 12x2 and hope that it stays in. And I liked this one because it had the blue, which kind of matched the blue that was on the pattern paper. And then the other side had these really pretty flowers, which I thought went well with the red polka dot paper. I'm going to add this ice cream sticker and just a few other embellishments on top of the pocket page here for this ice cream photo. We went to our community pool, and I think someone was having a birthday party, and they had rented a ice cream truck. So we saw the ice cream man come in, and we're like, oh, let's go get some ice cream. It was not free, and we still had to pay for it because we weren't part of the party, but it was kind of a fun little surprise there at our community pool. So now I have a 4x8 edition pocket, and that I got from 49 and Market. And I'm using this one just because it's small, and I don't need another 6x12 piece. I need a smaller canvas, if you will. But this one, the dots, the holes don't line up properly with the larger 12x12, and I want it to be centered inside. So what I did was I placed it on top of where the holes would be. I traced a circle over where the center hole is, or should be, and I used my Crop-A-Dile to punch a hole through the plastic. So now I have a hole that lines up and keeps this 4x8 page centered on the 12x12 pocket page. And then because it's 4x8, I'm just cutting my photos down or I will be cutting. That one kept 4x6, and then I just used the bottom of a cut apart at the bottom. But my other ones, I'm going to cut to 4x4 so that they take up the whole space on the back there. So when you flip it over, you're just going to see these two photos. I think the top one is my daughter. She had her mouth was stained blue from eating cupcakes at someone's birthday party. And then the bottom one, something must have happened. She did something that was annoying, and she wrote me a letter that said, "I'm sorry, I was a bad sport. Can I watch TV now?" So that I had to take a picture of and share. I think I shared that on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely do so. You'll see all my handles at the end of this video, or I used to post them in the description of the video boxes, but it just got to be a little too much. But you can find me on on Instagram at CookScrapCraft. That's me. And most of my other social media handles are the same. I think my Pinterest is different. It's Lars. I don't know. I didn't feel like going back and changing it. Although I think it shows up as being CookScrapCraft, but the actual handle is La La Lars. Anyway, that's a picture of a Sleeping Beauty doll, and I drew a picture of her, and then I put them side by side because I thought they were pretty good. So of course I have to add this to the monthly pocket pages and showcase my artwork. So because I have that little space of the cut apart down below, I was able to add a little journaling spot sticker and a few other little embellishments, and that's where I'm going to do the journaling for this. Now, unfortunately, when you're taking pictures through pocket pages, everything is very glary. So I apologize for that when we get to the close-ups of the images at the end, but hopefully this still gives you an idea of how everything looks and gives you ideas for different ways to use pocket pages, especially if you have a lot of photos and you don't want to do like 2 straight pocket pages back to back, or you don't have enough to do 2 of them, but you have too many for one. You can always add to it with these cool extra pocket sizes. And how am I going to adhere the 4x8 into the page? Because it is not self-adhesive. So you saw that I already punched a hole in the center. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to adhere it to the 12x12 pocket page using glue dots. Now, if I had double-sided adhesive tape or like the red line tape, I would do that. Just make sure that you're not covering up the holes that you need so that your posts or your rings can go through the holes without touching the adhesive. But I did not have any of that special tape, so I just used my like regular sized glue dots, and I did one on the top and one, I'm going to do one on the top and one on the bottom. I had some trouble getting them to stick to the plastic, which is kind of surprising because I feel like the glue dots, they always stick to everything that you don't want them to stick to. And then when you want them to stick to something, they're like, maybe not. So I did eventually get them both to stick, and then I stuck the plastic to the plastic. And now I have 2 flaps for this monthly pocket page. It's a little thick, but that's okay. It was a fun way to showcase more photos than normal. You can kind of see what it looks like when you're flipping it up, the things underneath. These are the close-up photos. I hope that this video was inspiring for you and that it inspires you to subscribe to this channel so that you see more process videos throughout the month. And I'll talk to you guys later. Follow me on social. Bye.